Today, I will be with you in science. And before we begin our period today, I'd like you all make sure that you have your notebook and a pen for taking short notes on what we are going to study today. So please, I'm giving you just 30 seconds to make sure that you have the required materials which I've said. Okay. Today I want to discuss about types of electric circuits. Types of electric circuits. This is the continuation of the previous topic which we started in the previous period, which was electric energy, where in our previous lesson we discussed about energy, we discussed about electric energy, we discussed about the components of electric circuits, and I also saw the signs or the symbols of an electric circuit. So today, we're going to look into the types of electric circuit. We have got only two types of electric circuits. And these are, one is series circuit, and the second one is parallel circuit. To begin with, I'll begin with the first one, series circuit. From our previous lesson, or from our previous discussion, we saw the meaning of the word circuit, where we said a circuit is a path through which current flow. So, the circuit can either be in series form, or that path through which electrons can flow, or through which current can flow, can either be in series form, or can either be in parallel form. So to begin with, series circuit. What makes it to be called a series circuit? That's what we are going to discuss about. Then, after the end of the period today, you will be in position to tell whether a given diagram you are going to be given in the exam is either for parallel circuit or series circuit. Series circuit formed when the components formed when the electrical components. What are these electrical components? These electrical components can either be bulb or the dry cells. Are arranged in series or are arranged in a way that there is a single path for the current to flow. Is formed when the components, the electrical components, these electrical components can either be bulbs or can be dry cells. That means dry cells can be arranged in series circuit, or the electrical consumers, e.g. bulbs, can be arranged in what? Series form or in series format. And that arrangement leads to a single path for the current to flow. Using the diagram, we can have bulbs arranged in series, or we can have dry cells arranged in series. These are bulbs. You can see these bulbs, they are arranged in one path. For the current to flow. You have to know the current flows from which direction to which direction. You know current is the flow of electrons. But the two, current and electrons, they flow in opposite direction. This is our source of power, the dry cell. This is the negative terminal, and this is the positive terminal. Remember what we discussed in our previous period. Current flows from positive to negative. Electrons flows from negative to positive. So current will be flowing this way, this current, and electrons, which is flow of current, it will be flowing in this direction. So, in this type of arrangement, which is series circuit, where the bulbs are arranged in series, the current will be passing through one bulb and after another. the flow is in a single path. So that's why we are saying the flow of current in series circuit, it takes place through each component one after another. So the two diagrams here, they are showing you the arrangement of bulbs in series form. But we can have arrangement of dry cells in series. These are dry cells. There are how many dry cells here? 1, 2, 3. Those 3 dry cells, they are arranged in series, meaning the positive terminal is connected to the negative terminal. It's as if you could be having these dry cells. I have just 2 here. This is the positive, this is the negative. You connect them, positive connect to the negative. So when you have this kind of connection, it means that type of connection is series. Series where the dry cells are in that format. Now, in this type of circuit, there are some specific things, or there are some specific notification you are supposed to note. So note the following. That in a series circuit, if one of the components has a fault or has got a problem, the current cannot flow. That means the circuit is broken. Let's go back to our first diagram, where the bulbs are arranged in series. That means, in case these bulbs, suppose you have given them the numbers. This number 1, this number 2, this number 3. Suppose this one has got a problem. Maybe the filament of this bulb is not working. It means the current cannot flow. Then by saying so, it means the circuit has been broken. Remember, in a series circuit, the flow of current takes place in a single path. So if one of the components is not working, or one of the components has got a problem, or if this bulb, the filament is not working, this one will have broken the circuit. So meaning even these 2 bulbs will not produce light. Current cannot pass. So that's the first thing you're supposed to note. Let me write it. If one of the component the circuit is broken, meaning the current cannot flow. No flow of electrons. There is no flow of current. There is no flow of electrons. The next thing, in this series circuit, bulbs have the same brightness. If you are using one dry cell here, and I are using 3 bulbs here, the brightness here is going to be the same. If you have 4 dry cells here, and you have 3 bulbs here, the brightness will still be the same. There will be no change in brightness here. But brightness of the bulbs can change if you change the number of dry cells or the source of power. If you are using 1 dry cells, and in the next or in another type of circuit with the same number of bulbs but different number of dry cells, let's say you have 4 dry cells here, bulbs arranged in 3 bulbs arranged in series, and another one you have 1 dry cell like the one in our board, the one with 4 dry cells. Its brightness will be higher compared to the one with 1 dry cells. So, the brightness of the dry cells can only change if you change the number of dry cells. The number of dry cells. That means if you increase the number of dry cells, brightness increase. If you decrease the number of dry cells, the brightness will decrease. On the same point on brightness of the bulbs, if you have three bulbs arranged in series, we have 3 dry cells here, or the dry cells and before. If you reduce the number of bulbs here, let's say instead of 3, you remain with 2. This one, the second one, you have The second one, you have 3 bulbs arranged in a series, 3 dry cells. 3 dry cells, 2 bulbs. We note something here in terms of brightness of these 2 circuits. This one here will be more brighter than this one here. Mark you, this one has got 3, the source of power here has got 3 dry cells. Here, the same 3 dry cells, but here, 2 bulbs in series, 3 bulbs in series. But the brightness will be different. Why? Because of the resistance. The resistance of the flow of current here is high compared to the resistance of the flow of current in the first diagram. The 2 bulbs here, the 3 bulbs here, these 3 bulbs offers more resistance than the 2 bulbs here. That's why there is difference in brightness here. So those are the only things which can change the brightness if in a series circuit. But if other conditions remains to be the same, the brightness has to be the same. Another thing which you are supposed to note, each component here receives total volts in all cells. If you are very keen of studying what's written on the dry cells, each dry cell shows the voltage. Even the one I'm having here, it cannot miss, it must be there. It's written here. It has 1.5 volts. Even the smaller ones we are using in our remotes of our TVs, they have the same voltage, 1.5. So what do I mean in this statement? Each component receives total voltage of all cells. If the cells here in this figure number 1, there are 4. Four cells. And each cell has got 1.5 V. Each cell 1.5 volts. V stands for volts. You can easily get the total voltage received by these 3 bulbs. The total voltage here, or the total voltage here, is equal to the voltage of a single cell you times or you multiply by the number of the dry cells in the circuit. For example, here, our circuit has got how many cells? 4 cells. So you can find the total voltage here. The total voltage consumed or received by these components here, the 3 components here, is given by the voltage of a single cell. You multiply by the number of dry cells. From our circuit, there are 4. So you get the total voltage here is 6. Volts. That's what we mean by each component receives total voltage of all cells. Another thing which you're supposed to note here in a series circuit is the power of the dry cells in a series circuit drains very fast. Power. The power of the dry cells drains very fast. It means you will keep on changing the dry cells here after a short period of time. Why? There is sharing taking place here. These 3 components, all of them, they are getting power from here. So that's why in a series circuit, the power drainage or the power of dry cells drains very fast. So it means this one is expensive. It is costly. It will make you to keep on changing the dry cells. Time after time, you are changing the dry cells. Because of the consumption which is taking place here. That is series circuit. The next one is the second one. The parallel circuits. Parallel circuits. If we have understood very well about series circuit, this one is not. This one is very easy. We said in series circuit, the tri-cells are connected positive to negative, positive to negative. But how does the connection in parallel circuit looks like? What about the power drainage? We saw in series circuit, the power drainage, the dry cells drains very fast. How about the parallel circuit? We saw in series circuit that if one of the components has got a problem, for example, you said if the bulb the filament of the bulb is not working, it means the circuit is not complete. The circuit is broken. What will happen to our parallel circuit if one of the components has got a problem? What will happen to the brightness of the bulbs if we are having more than 2 bulbs in a parallel circuit? What will happen? That is my assignment to you today. That's my assignment to you today. So this is the only assignment I've left you with. Go through the books. Go through what's written in the books about parallel circuits. When we meet in the coming period, we are going to discuss more about these parallel circuits. Thank you for listening. Hoping to meet you in the coming period. But make sure that you go through or you do or you read on what we are going to discuss next time, so that in our coming lesson the discussion will be very smooth, because we will be having an idea of what I will be teaching. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.